Well, here we are at the last year of the decade. 2019 was a decent year for me. It was also a decent year of playthroughs too. Every year I've done a top 10 playthroughs of the year, but this year I had to do a top 8 playthroughs since I wasn't able to do my last 2 playthroughs I had planned for the year. Funny enough, this isn't the first time I did a top 8 playthroughs list, since I did one all the way back in 2016, which also happened to be my first top playthroughs list. Anyways, enough chit chat. What were my favorite games I beat for you guys in 2019? Well, let's find out. Coming in at number 8 has got to be LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7. Last year, this game's predecessor, LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 to 4, made it into my dishonorable mentions. The levels were boring, the puzzles were not interesting, and the entire experience was just not as fun as most LEGO games tend to be. This was because the first 4 Harry Potters are mostly dialogue based, so making interesting levels out of them was a task I'm pretty sure no one could pull off. Not even Traveler's Tales. However, with the last 3 Harry Potters having more action to work with and Traveler's Tales improving from the first game, the follow-up was way better. The levels were fun, the puzzles were painfully easy, but they also wasn't rocket science, and this game was just way funnier than the first. However, while it was a huge improvement, it was still just an above average LEGO game, allowing it to come in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Uncharted The Lost Legacy, my first Uncharted game, and it was promising. The game was visually gorgeous, the platforming was fun, and the story was really good with impressive callbacks to real life legends and fun characters. However, the only real flaw is that the gunplay, like most Naughty Dog games, was garbage. Other than that, the game is really fun, allowing it to come in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is Fury. Playing through this game was so much fun. All the way back in 2016, I attempted to play this game and I got whooped. It was enough to make me rage quit and cancel the entire playthrough. 3 years later, I came back to this game, attempted to beat it, and I did so in under 24 hours. There were a few times I lost my cool, but overall, I had fun playing through the creative variety of bosses featured in this game. Not only that, but this game is smooth, the soundtrack is amazing, the game is gorgeous, the bosses are great, and the fair difficulty is refreshing. What used to be hate has now turned into love for this game, allowing it to come in at number 6. Coming in at number 5 is Team Sonic Racing. I went into Team Sonic Racing a little iffy, and the game turned out to be a lot of fun. I might have a little bias since I'm a huge Sonic fan, but this game was a huge joy to play. It works like most racing games do with the exception of the new team feature. While the story wasn't anything special, the soundtrack was good, the tracks themselves were fun, and the gameplay was smooth and addicting. While this game wasn't a masterpiece, what can I say, I had fun, which allows this game to come in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Mortal Kombat 11. Aside from Sly 4, this has easily got to be my most anticipated game. While it didn't meet my expectations, it was still a fun game. The fighting is smooth, the fatalities and fatal blows are cool, the graphics are good, the story was fine for the most part, and the costume selection was sick. But none of the issues were fixed from the previous game, the ending of the story is super dumb. Other than that, Mortal Kombat 11's story was enjoyable for the most part, allowing Mortal Kombat 11 to come in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain was insanely enjoyable. The story is a well set up mystery that constantly subverted my expectations at every turn. The choices heavily influenced the story, which is always a win for me, and the game looked nice. The only downside is that the game does have a fair share of technical problems and a few cringy moments. However, it was still an amazing game, allowing it to come in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Marvel's Spider-Man. What can I say about what is easily the greatest Spider-Man game ever? Marvel's Spider-Man is simply put perfect. The gameplay is groundbreaking, the story is a perfect Spider-Man story, and the graphics are phenomenal. Playing Marvel's Spider-Man felt magical, allowing it to come in at number 2. Coming in at number 1 is Red Dead Redemption 2. It was tough deciding if Red Dead Redemption 2 or Marvel's Spider-Man should take the number 1 spot, but I ultimately decided on Red Dead Redemption 2. I went into Red Dead 2 thinking I was going to get another decent story with mixed missions, however what I got was an immersive, groundbreaking, heartfelt package of a game. This game is gorgeous, the environments are wonderfully detailed, and the gameplay is decent with the exception of average gunplay. However, the game really shined with its story and characters. The story started off slow, but then it blossomed into an amazing prequel with a fun variety of great characters and a great story that will have you hooked until the end. Sprinkle that with fun missions and you have yourself a perfect game. That allows Red Dead Redemption 2 to come in at number 1. Well, there you have it. That was my top 8 playthroughs from 2019. And as you know, and as I stated earlier, this is the last year of the decade. And I just wanted to take this time to express my love for the 2010s. In the 2010s, my love for gaming grew. I finally got on the internet, which also led to the creation of this channel. I platinum Sly 1, 2, and 3. I fell in love with another video game series known as the Sonic franchise. I found my passion for video creating and storytelling. I wrote my first story that people actually read, and I grew as a person. The 2010s is the decade where I found my place in life, and I could never be more grateful. I want to thank you guys for coming along on this hard journey with me. The 2020s is going to be the decade where I become a freaking adult. The decade where I move out and become independent. The decade where I get a job. The decade where I might grow a freaking beard. The decade where the PS5 releases. The decade where hopefully another Sly Cooper game releases. But also, the decade where I take my passions to the extreme. I might write my first book. I might try to be involved with short films, or better yet, actually make short films. And where I try to take this channel to the next level by pumping out my best content daily for you guys, while also trying to reach out to other small YouTubers to go together. And honestly, I'm scared. There's many scary possibilities. I may not be financially stable to move out. I may not be emotionally mature enough to become an adult. I may never learn how to drive a car. I may never be qualified enough for a job. I might be bald. The PS5 could be garbage. Sly may never get another game. And Coppa could potentially destroy my entire channel. Maybe even tomorrow after this video goes up. But no matter what 2020 brings, I'll have to face whatever obstacles lie ahead. And if YouTube's screwed up system allows it, I'll be sure to keep entertaining you guys going forward. Thank you all for everything. Goodbye 2010s. Here's to the 2020s.